Hey guys, a very good evening. Masquerade say, very late. I was supposed to be here by around 8, but I'm around 10 minutes late. But we need to talk. Let us talk about the possibility of United Nations um, supervision of the Zimbabwean elections in 2023. It has been raised by the Hope, and I made the decision to come because I have seen a lot of people reacting to that in different ways, and we need to look into this issue um, deeper. So, say that the prospects of you for a supervised election in Zimbabwe are becoming more real after United Nations staff had told diplomats in a closed meeting in NYC that Zimbabwe can't continue holding disputed elections. She said there are many examples such as DRC and also Sierra Leone. She said a country like Zimbabwe can't continue having repeated disputed elections. She said the multiple human rights infractions and imprisonment of MPs without bail make it impossible for Zimbabwe to hold a free and fair election, adding that it is destabilizing the region. The senior UN staffer said Zimbabwe's problem is not economic but political, so it is politics that needs to be fixed and the economy will then be fine. She was echoing the same thing said by the South African Minister for Foreign Affairs, Dr. Naledi Pandor. The UN staffer said all the ingredients for a supervised election are there. It is now up to the victims of a failed democratic system to make at the core and present their case. She said the regional leaders have quietly said they are tired of the Zimbabwe crisis and its problem. So this is what the hope is actually saying here, or is raising regarding the issue of United Nations actually presiding over or supervising the Zimbabwean elections. But let us get to this issue and check if it is possible for United Nations to actually supervise Zimbabwean elections, because we need the people of Zimbabwe to be prepared, not that they will be footed on the last minute. So here is the issue here, as you can see right on the screen, the issue about United Nations Electoral Assistance Division, UNEAD. So this division it is part of the Department of Political Affairs, UN, Department of Political Affairs. They deal with elections. So what they do is that they can supervise, they can actually assist in terms of having elections on request, especially on request. They can actually assist nations to run their elections and their referendums. And in this case, we need to actually look at this issue more importantly, because you can actually see that they're saying that elections have been a component of decolonization, democratic transitions, and implementation of peace accords in countries around the globe. And the UN has played a major role in providing assistance for these important processes of change. So, in the days of decolonization, the UN supervised and observed plebiscites and referenda, leading to the creation of new independent states. Today, the efforts of the organization are increasingly focusing on providing technical assistance to member states to build credible and sustainable national election systems. So, because of time, we cannot actually read the whole thing, but we need to go to the key issues here. So, the United Nations can actually run elections in different states, even in Zimbabwe, but there are conditions which should be met for them to do so. If you look, the United Nations was responsible for the elections which happened in Cambodia in 1992 to 1993, in Timor-Leste 2001 and 2002, then Afghanistan here 2004 to 2005, Iraq in 2005. But this remains an exception because the countries the hosting country should be actually in agreement. So that is what is very, very, very important for us to know. If you read here, It says, in addition, requests from member states, United Nations electoral assistance is sometimes mandated by UN governing bodies such as the Security Council or the General Assembly. This is often the case when peacekeeping or peace-building missions are established within with electoral components. Even when mandated by such bodies, UN electoral assistance must be approved by the relevant member state. That is what is very important in Zimbabwe. So what is going to happen is that people are going to lobby, are going to push for the United Nations to actually assist in elections, that is in 2023. After that is being done, what is going to happen is that it's either the General Assembly is going to approve that, or the Security Council of the UN is going to approve that. So without if the Security Council and the General Assembly mandates that the elections in Zimbabwe must be supervised, the onus now remains on the, 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 the Zimbabwean government to actually uh, take that advice and and actually allow United Nations to come and supervise the elections. So here is key. A lot of people are saying we need United Nations to come and supervise elections, but it's not an easy task. Why? Zimbabwe, as a sovereign country, as a member state, you need to actually um, approve those elections. And I think I've answered on this. So on the issue of possibility, that is the reason why I made a decision to come with this issue. And I had to read this last paragraph. As you can see right here on the screen, the last paragraph is key, where they are saying that um, the, 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 the hosting country or the member state must actually approve that issue of the United Nations assisting the election. So what is going to happen is that if the United Nations tries to force itself on Zimbabwe to run the elections in Zimbabwe, China, if they go through the Security Council, China can veto. Russia, I think Russia is suspended. I'm not so sure about that. But China is a part of the United Nations Security Council. It can veto. And when a member in the Security Council vetoes, the United Nations abandons its plans against a certain state. So this is what is very important for us to actually note here. So if Zimbabwe actually agrees United Nations supervising their elections, it is possible. What they can actually do is that United Nations can fully take the responsibility to run the elections. Or secondly, the United Nations can be blended into Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, where they will be running the elections together. Those are two possibilities which might happen. So we don't know what is going to happen. We are going to see if the CCC team is going to actually approach the United Nations regarding the issue of being assisted in terms of elections after they've requested that issue will go through the United Nations Security Council or the United Nations General Assembly. After that, we are going to see the the UN actually approaching Zimbabwean government in regard to the issue of running the 2023 elections, and we'll see the results from there. So I don't know if the United Nations does have power and capacity to force itself on the Zimbabwean government. That's why I am not so sure, and I don't know. So I've tried to actually give you the possibilities here, which means it's difficult for the United Nations to actually come and run the elections in Zimbabwe. And the people of Zimbabwe must not expect much. We must continue to focus on actually registering to vote. We must focus much on actually going to vote in 2023 in our numbers. We must focus much on actually taking over or taking charge of various and different constituencies in the nation of Zimbabwe, because that is what we know, that it's likely that we are going to win through those avenues. Let us take charge of our constituencies. Let us win at a constituency level, at a polling station level. If we manage to win at polling station level, every polling station, if we target polling station based election or politics, it is going to be much easier, because when a polling station wins, for an example, if I'm in charge of a polling station and if it wins, I will tell the leadership that I have won on my polling station. The next person will say, I have won. The next person will say, I have won. Then we combine those people who have won on their polling stations and say, how many are you? If we are 11,000 plus, then we put them forward, the V11s, and say, we have won. That is key. After that, after we've gotten the assurance that we have won on polling stations, we have won the elections at national level, that is going to assist us even to approach the United Nations and say, this is the evidence. We won the elections, but they are actually refusing us. That way, we can have a possibility of having the United Nations actually forcing Zimbabwe to actually accept the results, because they will be dealing with the constitution of Zimbabwe. What the constitution says? The constitution says if somebody is elected, he is the president according to the constitution. So it will be an issue of President Nelson Chamisa being now installed as the legitimate, or being recognized as the legitimate president of the republic. So this is it in Zimbabwe. These are my thoughts. I have given you what I think, and I've tried to read the evidence here of how United Nations runs their elections and how they operate. I think that you've gotten the assistance you were looking for. So I came with this one because a lot of people have been asking me, how do you view this issue? And I made a decision to come and address this. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for support. These days, I'm not coming as usual because I'm so busy. I have some obligations elsewhere, but I hope I will be free very, very, very soon, and I'll be able to come live in 24/7. Thank you very much for coming. Sending out. My name is Ronald. Let us meet in other episodes of the program.